Roscoe. Roscoe, 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 Roscoe. Roscoe,
There
Roscoe,
is no
Roscoe.
Roscoe. There is only the Witch of Greed.
Oh my gosh, this dude. Such an infuriating person to be around.
He's like if Johnny Bravo was an anime character.
You're so right. You're so right.
But it's in this case, it's not like one of those situations where in Johnny Bravo's case, he looks strong, but for some reason every woman in the show has like plus 50 strength. In this thing, it's like, if you don't love me, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, it's oh my gosh. I want to immediately go into I'm going to immediately go into him, but let's do this quick intro. Hi, I am Nobody. I'm joined here with Roscoe,
Hey,
and we are gonna here to talk about ReZero season 3, episode 3. I think it's technically 53 for some reason. That's the way they do it or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the episode. We talked about the last two episodes, last video, and if you want to hear our opinions about that, go check it out. But yeah, we'll do a quick recap of what happened on the episode, and then we'll just go into more of our thoughts and stuff like that. And we're gonna ramble and go into tangent, so you're just gonna have to deal. Also, spoilers ahead. I didn't say this last time, but I'm gonna say it this time.
oh yeah, we did not say spoilers.
Yeah.
Last time, not at all.
Yeah. But come on, you gotta see. But
If you are watching a recap and you have not seen the show, I think that counts as consent to spoil.
I feel that's true. I feel that's true. All right, Roscoe. Do you want to talk? Let's recap the episode, sorry, and then we can when we get to the point of greed, we can talk about greed because I want to talk about greed.
I also want to talk about greed.
So basically, the show speaks up exactly where it left off on episode 2. Amelia was about to be burnt to a crisp, but someone saved her, and you're like, "That's cool," but that's not cool. The person that saved her was the Archbishop of Greed, which is terrible for everyone involved. And basically, the Archbishop of Wrath and the Archbishop of Greed are kind of having this like pseudo fight where they're like, "Yo, let me kill her," and Greed is like, "Nah, this is gonna be my wife," and everyone's like, why you doing this?" He's like, you know, her face looked pretty, pretty. Her face was pretty, so now she's my wife.
At least he's honest.
He's true. He was just like, "Yep." He's like, "It's like, oh, what's her name?" He's like, "Oh, her name's Amelia. That's cool. All right, sweet." Yeah, they are. We could let's talk about like this scene because this is gonna be a good chunk of what's going on. So again, the archbishops are living up to their hype to me right now because all of them are fucking terrible, are fucking, just like people I do not want to be around.
With the exclusion of Lust, who we haven't seen what she's capable of yet.
Oh yes, and I did forget to mention. So you get the scene, and you also get a scene of two other archbishops of sin, and one of them is gluttony, and the other one is lust, and they're in the town. All four of them are in the town.
I think at this point we should just if we can input the that thing from Star Wars. It's a trap.
It is a trap. This place was a terrible place to go to. Oh.
I think most of like what I have to say comes from, like you said, this first scene, because we learn so many things in this first scene.
Yes, a lot of things.
Right. One, we learn that apparently the witch cult is somewhat loosely connected, meaning it's not like a rank and file situation. We still don't know who the leader is, but it seems like amongst the cohorts there is friction.
Yeah, absolutely. They are loosely joined on some type of mission. We don't know what they want yet, but they're definitely not like the cleanest team, which makes sense when you're talking about when they're like representing of different types of sin. Like I kind of go into this right now. Like I do not like greed, but I think his representation of greed is just so perfect, just so on the nose, right? Just so like, the reason I do stuff is because I want to and I can. I take things because I want to and I can, right? And the small thing that I think just makes it super work is that he's petty as bro.
Absolutely.
So petty, and he's so petty, and he will call you out on it immediately.
Something that he said during that conversation, it made me think about this particular quote from a philosopher. It was a few quotes. He, and I've noticed this with the other archbishops, is that they, in their own minds, honestly believe that they are right, that they are good. Like they believe they're so good as to like lecture you unprovoked about just a random thing you did. And it reminded me of this. It was a phrase, I literally heard it yesterday. It's by the philosopher Hegel, and it said something along the lines of, "Evil resides in the very gaze that which perceives evil all around itself." And I can't help but feel like this applies to greed so totally, where he believes that he is so right. And same thing with the Witch of Wrath. Like, they believe that what they think is so right that they are evil in themselves.
Yeah, and
I think that same could be said for the witches as well.
I agree. I think the witches are just like a step further, where it's like they understand that they're in the wrong, but they just don't care. I think the archbishops just truly believe they're in the right. I think like there's a little bit more reflections with the witches, but it's like it is what it is. You can't make everyone happy.
And again, I said this before, I just keep coming across this theme of love and how love corrupts.
It is everywhere, bro. Before you get into what I think you're gonna say, I'm gonna write down this.
Oh no, that was it.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you this thing I wrote down, because I wrote down some notes while I was saying it. It says, this is on all caps. No, Subaru's protagonist charisma has attracted a yandere. That's not fun.
Yo. That was so unexpected.
Yes. What we're talking about is, so basically, Subaru tries to put up a fight. We will gracefully call this a fight against greed. It's just maybe greed taking 0 damage while Subaru does stuff. And one of the things he does is like, and one of the things we learned that he's been practicing is the invisible hand stuff, like the visible hand, like and that power and stuff like that. And he uses it to punch greed in the face. It does absolutely 0 damage. And as soon as he uses it, the Archbishop of Wrath was like, "That's my husband. That's my husband, Petagoose."
Which confirms what we thought in the previous episode.
Yeah.
It's confirmed Petalgoose has some connection to the Witch of Wrath. Judging by some of the context clues, it seems like it may have been a one-sided thing.
Seems, yeah, it definitely seems that way. It was definitely a one-sided thing. the stuff she was saying was like, this is words from someone that is not right in the head.
Yes, she is pretty terrifying, and she has attached herself to Subaru at this point to a degree. Like, not enough where she's going to listen to what Subaru says, which makes her that much more of a yandere. Like, there's levels of yandere.
Yeah.
Like, she's reaching the future diaries level of like, I know you, like, I love you, but I love you in the kind of way where I know what's better for you.
The more like despicable, terrible, scary kind of yandere, where it's like, this is not a fan. The whole yandere thing is a fantasy, but this is like the part of fantasy that's actually the real thing, right? The thing that makes it bad, right? Like, this person doesn't really care about you; they just think they care about you, in a way.
I'd like to back up to the scene before where we discussed Subaru's powers that he's been working on.
Got you. Can I before we go there real quick, can I say one thing about this real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Going off on one of your point, the Witch of Wrath being terrifying, like one of her comments is straight up like, "Hey, I'm gonna burn Amelia right in front of you."
Yeah, so I'd like to talk about the new powers.
Yeah.
Beatrice and Subaru seem to have some new ability. They kind of vaguely explained it. It could have been the last season. I just don't remember. Where he said something about like he can phase out of the world for like a half second or something. Mm-hmm. Is that was a new thing, right?
I believe that's a new thing. I think it jives with like Subaru's ability to like always find her library. which was like a big thing in in the first and second season. But yeah, I believe that is a completely new thing. The invisible hand's not new, and Shamak's not new. But yeah, that I think is new.
But also, Beatrice called Shamak.
Yeah.
I didn't know that she could do that.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it's such a low level power. I'm sure like anybody could do it.
I was like saying it's such a trash ability. When you're so good, you can just kind of do it. Probably better than someone whose whole thing can only do that one thing.
How has she mastered Shamak?
Yeah, so yeah, that fight did not go the way they wanted.
No.
But hey, I'm still a fan of Indiana Subaru. Indiana Subaru whipping stuff around.
That was such a terrible idea. Like I was legitimately like just so disappointed in Subaru when that happened. Like what what these archbishops are capable of. You've at least fought one. I don't know if did he fight? Has he fought in two?
No, he has fought one.
He's fought one and one magic beast.
Yeah.
He should know by now. Like he can't even put up a fight with Rem. What hope does he believe that he has?
Like, as soon as he did that, I was like, man, I would have just called Reinhardt. I'm like, with all this destruction and Pyro's pillars happening, where is like all the powerful people? Actually, there's a one person specific I want to say. Where the fuck are they?
True. We'll get to that. We'll totally get to that. Yeah, because we leave that portion, and the Witch of Wrath and the Witch of Pride, they both go their separate ways.
Oh, Witch of Greed.
I say, oh yeah, the Witch of Greed, they both go their separate ways. The Witch of Greed is on the lines of like, hey, I'm taking this woman, she's my wife, and oh yeah, you said something that hurt my feelings, so I'm gonna respond in kind, and I'm gonna take away your leg.
Oh yes, I'm going to. Subaru has took the biggest arrow to the knee today, because Havis was just blown the fuck off.
The way he did that, he like clicked his heels like he was Dorothy and Wizard of Oz, and just his like entire left calf just blew away.
Yeah, like from what I saw, it's like he like kicked a pebble backwards into Subaru.
Oh, is that?
Yeah,
is that what happened? I just thought he like clicked his like leg on the ground.
No,
but that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, it's like there was a small pebble, and he like clicks it, and it literally blows off half of Subaru's leg. And it was like something like the reason why I think it's like crazy is like Bethel was standing right there, and she couldn't do anything about it.
Not at all.
Like it happened so fast. She looked over. She's like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Which just goes to show you what level the Witch of Greed is.
We mentioned this last time, being like, "Oh no, she's in another classroom." And I was like, "Yeah, this is what's happening, but it's way worse because he's just walking away. He's just casually walking away. Like you think like he's gonna escape by like, oh, he's gonna magic his way away. He's gonna like fly away or whatever. No, the dude just walks away." And it's like fair, like who's gonna stop him?
Yeah, again, would have been a great time to call Reinhardt.
Yes,
but that's neither here nor there.
He like I get the other dude was under this spell, so I can understand why. I'm more like I feel like Reinhardt should be like kind of aware. Like, is he inside a house? Like, why? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. What do you think he was doing at this point? Do you think that's going to be relevant to the story, or they just decided to leave him out?
I think it's gonna be relevant. I think the thing is like, hey, this is a huge city. Like I think even in the first episode of the season 3, there's like, oh, this is like the fourth biggest city in the world or whatever, right? Like it's a huge city, so it's just like, oh, this is just like a small part in this huge city, so that's why he wasn't there. This is why I think like what we're about to get into with Garfield like makes sense. It still is like, man, like you came here for a certain reason, and and you're not here, bro.
That is a good point. Also, a good point that you pointed out is that, like, I don't know if that's what you're alluding to, but in Garfield scenes, there was no, like, we didn't see any pyrotechnics, no nothing that would give sign that there's a struggle somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's a fair point.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go into Garfield stuff, because they let that traumatic stuff happen to Subaru, and then they just cut to Garfield's story. and like what he's been up to for the last day or so.
So Garfield meets his mom, or a woman that he thinks is his mom, with Mimi. They're at what we presume to be his mom's home. His mom has invited him over for, I don't know, some kind of tea sort of thing. The dad shows up, greets the Garfield and Mimi. They decide like, hey, we're gonna jet out. And at some point in time, dad shows up. Hey, I just found out that you saved my son, and I just want to thank you. And how can I repay you? Garfield asks, hey, your wife's name. That's not her real name, right? And the husband is like, how do you know that? And Garfield is just gonna be just kind of a dick for no reason. Is not gonna tell him why, but proceeds to ask some questions. And the husband tells him that the woman that may not be her real name, and that he found her somewhere in the woods, presumably pretty close to where Garfield and his sister were left. She had pretty much been buried alive in some kind of avalanche or rock collision that we assume probably has some relevance later on. It is not just some random thing that they threw together. It's confirmed that it's highly likely that this is actually his mom, and it's right now we're at the point like, what are they gonna do? What is he gonna do about it? He's not quite sure. Mimi and Garfield have this really like heartfelt interaction where Mimi expresses her feelings. Question. I forgot. I remember that Subaru was like significantly older than Garfield. Like Garfield is like younger than he looks.
Yes. Garfield is technically, I think, like, oh, let me look it up. I think it, like in season 2, it was like yeah, he's like 14 or 13 or something like that.
Yeah, I remember there was like a running joke about it.
Yeah, it says 14.
Okay.
Yeah, so he is yeah, there's a thing that he is younger than he appears, even though he's like crazy. Looks crazy. He doesn't look like a 14-year-old. He didn't look like what I looked like when I was 14.
Certainly not. Certainly not me as well. But then again, he is a boy that can turn into a giant tiger.
Yes. He is great at doing that.
Yes. Which honestly that kind of makes sense because there's a lot of muscle that like has to condense down into a human body. So it wouldn't be super shocking for like someone like Garfield to appear a lot stronger than the average human.
Yeah, got you. But not strong as Reinhardt.
Yeah, not as strong as Reinhardt.
Have you super small tangent? I don't know if I'm gonna cut this out or not. You've seen Jujutsu Kaisen, right?
Some of it, yeah.
My favorite part of Jujutsu Kaisen is like the narrator is just always like, he's the strongest person to ever throw a punch, except he's definitely weaker than Gojo. Like every time he's like the fastest, he has done the most flashes, the black flashes out of all the wizards, except Gojo. He's always mentioning that, which is I just find it hilarious. Yeah.
So thoughts on this interaction?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say two things. First off, I think it was what he did for not like revealing his cards of being like, hey, that's my mom. I get why he didn't do it. It wasn't a bad thing. It seemed like a character development, you know what I'm trying to say, kind of thing for him to like kind of swallow this like immediate pride and like not like reveal too much and try to like ruin the situation, if that makes sense. You can debate it wouldn't matter. It's like, hey, it might be better just to tell like the truth or whatever. But I understand his hesitance to do it. To me, kind of says like, oh yeah, this character is kind of growing from what he was, if that makes sense. And then the second thing is, I continue to like this theme. The guts lady, I still don't remember her name, kind of haunting him in a very like serious mental way, because she was a terrifying opponent, probably the closest he's ever gotten to death. For like, even though he puts on a persona of someone that is like super tough, doesn't matter what's called strongest out there or whatever, he's low-key terrified of kind of facing that again, or being in a situation where he's too weak again.
Even Subaru doesn't have PTSD to that length about the assassin lady.
Yeah, yeah, this is true. But you know, the assassin lady is really good at reminding him every single time.
And yeah, and she kills him several times.
The one that like was like, okay, I was like, it was like the first time that like Subaru was like, okay, I just need to like sort of accepting it. She did something. I'll tell you, she pokes him in the eye with her sword, and I was like, oh, this is why this person sucks.
Oh yeah, I remember. Like she was like, "You're not showing enough terror,"
Yeah,
which just makes me even more mad.
yeah. You're not dying painfully enough. But yeah, that's what I think. I think that was a really cool little thing. I think Mimi being there to have Garfield, to make Garfield, to convince Garfield to just kind of let it all out, it was another good progression for the character to kind of like not have it like store it all in, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you think we're ever gonna get back to the old Garfield, where like Garfield is like his attachment issues manifest to a point where he starts killing people indiscriminately, or do you think we're past that era?
I definitely don't think we're past that. I miss the old Kanye. I miss the old Garfield moment meme thing. I don't think we're past it. I think it's actually gonna be something that's gonna be quite a problem. I don't want to say quite a problem. It's gonna be somewhat of a problem because he's already committed to saving this. Sorry, I was gonna say this woman. He's already committed to saving his mom's kids and husband. He's like 100% committed to doing that now. Oh, which is like, I don't think it's like a bad thing, but like you know, we don't got a lot of strong people on our side. Like just in the Nazi Subaru team right now, right? Like, you know, there's strong people, but they're not like allied with Subaru. Okay, there are 3 strong people on Subaru's team. One of those people is not Subaru, right? The other person is literally kidnapped, right? By someone way stronger than anyone on the team. The other one was there when one of their teammates got kidnapped and could do absolutely nothing about it. And then there's Garfield. We like this is like what are we doing here?
You have to remember that Subaru and his team are not the only people here in Pristella. And that are willing to defend against the Witch's Call, which is what we're seeing now.
Yeah.
We're seeing somewhat of an alliance forming.
This is very true, but this was not true. Episode the 20 minutes when it really needed to happen.
Yes, I'm gonna go into speculation, the speculation palace for a second. I think what is going to happen is that Garfield is going to try and fail to save his mom's kids and husband. What I think is going to happen, it's going to get to a point where Reinhardt is going to interfere and it's going to bother him even more. And he's going to be pushed to a point either before or after where like he really has to deal with the assassin lady in his head in a very, very real way. I'm curious what the lady has to do with his like weird attachment issue thing, or like I don't know what that is, but I am interested in seeing the season because now we have Reinhardt in one room, we have Wilhelm in one room.
True.
Which
we have Al in that room too. He's here.
Who?
Al.
Are you talking about the dude with the hat?
Yeah.
The helmet?
Yeah, helmet dude.
He reminds me. Do you remember this is a tangent, we'll probably cut this out. Do you remember Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles?
I do remember this. Yes.
Do you remember the people that like the class of characters that you could be that had like the little helmet?
Yeah.
Yeah, he reminds me of that.
Yeah, I agree. He does give off that kind of vibe. But yeah, we definitely have a lot of people that I think are, I don't want to say equipped to handle the bishops, but definitely could give them a fight, right? Like Rush and Rem both fought at least one of them. Like, you know, did Crush fight one of them? I feel like she did. Remember. She did. I don't know for sure. I gotta remember. I know Rem definitely fought the Archbishop of Gluttony. Oh, sorry. But let's quickly move on to this thing because it's gonna be super quick. Otto, super fun. I don't know how he survives this shit.
Yes.
super like, oh bro, you're dead. Otto, this is Otto's story. He's like, man, I'm gonna get these sweets, and he gets some sweets. He's like, man, this is super good. And he looks to his right. The Archbishop of Gluttony's there talking to a soldier. Soldier gets absolutely murdered, and everyone else does the smart thing of fucking running, right? And Otto is like, "Oh, fuck, I'm the only person here. He's looking directly at me. I forgot to run."
The only way I could see him escaping the situation is if Reinhardt or Wilhelm are somewhere nearby.
Yeah, because
That's the only way he survives.
yeah, because at least the way it was like implied and looked at, it's like so basically all the way the archbishops are like on a timer. They were like, oh, we're gonna only do this for a couple minutes and and then bounce or whatever. And the way this was looking, Otto was like the beginning of that timer. But yeah, so yeah, that's the Otto. We covered Garfield, and I guess there's the last point. We get to go back to Subaru at the very end of the show. You know, he's healing up a little bit. He still has basically half his leg blown off. He could stand on it at least, but it's still like extremely hurts him. Beto out for the count in rest mode, in charging mode, and that's mainly because she had to heal everyone that was there, not just Subaru. So she's like all her mana's gone. She's kind of like in this like, she's basically sleeping. She's sleeping, and it said do not disturb. She can't help out right now. But yeah, so when Subaru awakes, he kind of learns this stuff. Al is there, and they kind of catch him up. And who else is there? Who I can't believe I'm forgetting this character.
You're talking about the cat dude.
Yeah, cat dude, cat boy dude.
Yeah.
It starts with an F. Thumb.
Frederica, Fred something.
Yeah, let me look it up real quick.
Felix.
Yes, I think it's Felix. I mean, but yeah, he's basically the knight for. Is he the knight for? Yeah, he's basically the knight for Crush.
I am interested to see how strong he is because I don't know if we've ever gotten an idea of how, like, what he is capable of.
Gotcha.
He has to be somewhat strong if he's going to be like
Ferris.
a knight.
His name is Ferris.
Ferris.
Oh no, Felix. What? Ferris or Felix? I guess. Let's go.
I guess Felix. Remember, this is coming to you from the creators that was Petalgoose.
Petalgoose.
I can't decide on a dang name.
Okay, from what I'm looking, his name is Felix, but commonly known as Ferris. But yeah, I think he's gonna be pretty strong. I just think he's just kind of like I am an incredibly strong healer kind of thing. I have a feeling that he has something to do with shields too. I think he's like I think he's got to be crazy strong. It's just that he just happens to be around Crush, who, you know, out of like all the candidates other than maybe the Sun Princess and Feltz, had like serious like offensive capabilities, you know what I'm trying to say? Like seriously could fight for themselves. Amelia has entered the chat recently. But like season 1, season 2, I love the quote of you saying like magic. She just used magic missile. But yeah, so I think whatever he does is like way more healing, defensive kind of stuff, which kind of works out where he has literally William and his candidate as well being like super offensive and strong.
Don't forget they also have Mimi, and from what I remember from the last season, the season before, they're actually pretty strong.
Yeah, they were doing they were key blasting everything. Well, what happened to Mei? Because Mimi is there, but her brother is not there.
I think they said something along like he was somewhere else.
Gotcha. Oh, we also get another tidbit of Mimi. Parents abandoned her too, so this is why she can connect with Garfield.
Yeah.
All right, I think we can start going into the palace. Oh, one last thing before we make this jaunt over the palace. It seems like it's raining, so we'll just wait just a couple seconds. The city was made as a trap for a witch, and it killed the witch. That's what the city was made for. This is revealed when Subaru goes basically upstairs, and they're like kind of starting a game plan, and like this is what they tell Subaru. They don't say who the witch is, but like the only one I can think of is I believe her name is Stella, which is the witch of envy, from my understanding. But maybe it's some other witch.
Wasn't Echidna also dead?
Kidna was also dead. It might be. They just said a witch. They didn't say specifically which witch, which is very important for this situation.
Yes, but also wasn't that the pyramid palace thing? Wasn't that supposed to be her coffin?
We saw a body in the second season that, yeah, was supposed to be a kidna. I think we had a small argument where I thought that was a kid. I thought that's a fake echidna body. Real echidna's dead, but she's not there. But yeah, we did see a coffin that, or at least not we, but Amelia saw the coffin with someone that looks a lot like the Reach Agreed in there. And I think to put more credence on to what you're saying, I think that has to be where Echidna died because of the. This is the reason why Rosario is basically the closest thing to it.
Possibly, but I think you might be right. It might be another witch, who was buried in. Yeah, because didn't they specifically said that this witch is buried somewhere in this town.
Yeah, they said there were. I think the wording was like their remains are somewhere in the town because they flooded the whole town to kill the witch, and then
Are
her remains is somewhere in the town.
are all the witches dead?
I think it is. I think it's presumed that way because that's why Subaru was able to convene with them in that like weird middle place area. I think, but I am unsure. I guess the only one that's most likely not dead is Stella, but I think she's dead too.
Okay.
But again,
All right.
I again I don't remember crazy enough from the first and second season.
One thing I think we also need to mention is that at the end of the show, at the end of the episode, the witches have taken control of the four towers
Oh yeah,
and also the media, or the media that controls the.
are you telling
Yeah,
me?
that's funny. Media and the media.
Are you telling me they're pushing out fake news? How despicable!
Ah, couldn't relate. They have captured all four of the towers, and they are going to try to flood the city and kill everyone for reasons that we are not fully sure of, but probably have something to do with the witch. Now I think we're ready to go to the speculation zone.
Yeah, I got you. The rain has stopped. We can walk over there. But while we're walking, they specifically said they're gonna try to flood the city.
They didn't say it specifically, but I think it was Krush, or not. It was either Krush or the other one said that like they have pretty much have access to the water, and they're going to try to flood the place.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's a bad thing when you know when someone has not taken the princess to another castle, but has stayed in your castle and is about to destroy it. But cool. Sorry, we're here in the speculation palace. We have some nice seats. What do we have here? Oh, we have scones today. Scones. Nice chocolate chip scones.
Nice.
All right. Do you want to go first on your prediction? I have my general prediction, and then I have a wild off the cuff prediction that I thought about earlier today.
This isn't a prediction as much as it is a question that I had. It has something to do with what we learned at the beginning, is that to some degree the archbishops are not organized.
Yep.
But they have to be somewhat organized because they have to be organized to one convene at one particular place,
Yep.
seemingly for a particular reason, or at least two of them seem to have a particular reason for being there. It must be very important because there's only one archbishop there.
Mm-hmm.
Lust, as far as I can tell from the paragraph of dialogue that we've gotten from her, seems the most capable of being somewhat of the supervisor of whatever project is going on.
We need a manager in this situation. I think that's a very poignant point. I don't know. I feel like all the archbishops have this tinge of being like not manageable. I don't think the archbishops can manage each other, if that makes sense. Like I think they're too caught up into their sin to be manageable. Like look at, I think Greed's like the kind of the perfect example where it's like you're not stopping that person, and if he doesn't want to go anywhere, he doesn't want to go there. I think the true manager, I think the true supervisor is the white haired, blue eyed girl we met. I think it was like clairvoyance or something she had. Like basically, she had the power of retconning.
Are you talking about Pandora?
Yes, Pandora. I think she is the manager of what's going on here and is forcing all these archbishops to do things.
It could be Pandora,
Yeah,
who's buried underneath.
that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good prediction. I don't think any of the people on the ground right now are running the show because I just think like from at least all those maybe the this Archbishop of Lush is different, but like all of them, I think they all represent their sins in a very interesting way. I think the things that I like about the Archbishop so far is that maybe at the surface level you're like not super what I would imagine to be the Archbishop of something of this or that, but their actions and their things right after it, like when you get a little bit under the surface, you're like, oh, this dude's obsessed with this thing. Like they're obsessed with being greedy. Like this person's like enthralled in rage.
It's such a vice that they think it's like a virtue.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. What's called? Do you have any other things for directly for next episode?
I think that the gang is going to convene and hatch some sort of plan. I think the plan is going to fail, or there's going to be some kind of complication. We're going to learn a little bit more about how these people are connected, and most importantly, we're going to find out whether or not what's the dude's name with the green hat again?
Otto.
Whether or not Otto dies. See, I know I've just written him off as a character now because he just seems just so absolutely screwed.
Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna come to Otto's corner. When he was fighting Garfield, I thought he was gonna die dead too, but he fought away.
So maybe there's a chance.
He might have a chance. He might pull another like, hey, bro, I talk to the animals.
If he survives, we have to put him one level above Rem.
Canonically stronger than Rem.
Yes.
For me, I think for the next episode, I think I think they're gonna hatch a plan, and a lot of their plan is going to be like lead around like, okay, we need to at least get one of these towers back or whatever. So they're gonna do the classic let's split up gang. I think Subaru has to be paired with someone extraordinarily strong. So I think he's gonna get paired up. Like, okay, who's in the room? Owl's in the room. Is Reinhardt in that room too? I know Will's there.
I don't think we saw. I don't know if we saw Reinhardt. I feel like we would have.
So I think
recognized it.
Yeah, I think Subaru is gonna get paired up with Will and maybe some other character, and they're supposed to go check out or try to get control of one of the towers. I think that's gonna go wrong. I think a lot of that's gonna go wrong is because the Archbishop of Wrath is gonna be like, oh, there's Subaru. Let me try to take him into another castle, right? And I think that's gonna she's just gonna mess things up in a way that's like it's like Subaru's gonna probably be down his luck. I think there's gonna be a good portion of next episode talking about the Sun Princess. I keep forgetting her name. Priscilla. I feel like they're gonna figure out what she's doing right now, and I think one of the things she's gonna be doing is killing cultists.
Which one was Priscilla?
Her.
Her.
I don't know if that's her name, but I just know it starts with a P.
No, you're right.
Because like all the other candidates are accounted for, and I think I know where Reinhardt is. Reinhardt is definitely with Felt right now.
Yes.
100%. I feel like he's gonna be with Felt, and maybe the only reason I can see him not being around Felt if Felt is like 100% out of the situation, or Felt gets captured too. And then I think other any other situation he's not. I don't think he's leaving outside.
No.
Okay, so that's my prediction for next episode, and now I'm gonna give you the crazy prediction that I thought about when I was like, I think I was driving home or whatever.
Okay, one more question I do have.
Gotcha.
It's something I noticed.
What's up?
So far, we have only seen, or at least that I can. You correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we've seen any more like low level cultists since the Witch of Sloth, or not the witch, the Archbishop of Sloth.
You are correct. I haven't seen all of them. It's all been archbishops all the time. Yes, there's no other coaches I've noticed. So she's probably not killing low level cultists. That's a good thing. That's a good.
I wonder if there are any more archbishops with a following, or if it was specifically a thing for Sloth, because he is the Archbishop of Sloth, and his power is literally he's not going to touch you. He has like invisible Dr. Octopus arms to touch you for your paws.
Yeah.
And so maybe it might be an extension of is the theme of his character, where he is just slothful enough where he just has other people carrying out his bidding.
Yeah, I think that's very possible, right? Because like, yeah, I think that makes sense. Because I think the big thing in season 1 was like, holy fudge nuggets. I'm trying to cuss less. I cuss too much. I realized that after editing, half these people in the village are cultists.
Was that in the show?
I'm pretty sure, because there was a whole thing with the there was a thing where there was so we knew the what's the girl, the little girl that had the wolf, the dog thingy was a bad person. No, wait a minute. Yeah, no, she was a bad person. She was evil.
Oh yeah.
Right. And then there was something that happened in the village that I think, yeah, it was like, hey, some of these people were definitely like cultists, right? Like there was some type of ambush that happened that they weren't expecting. Because Subaru thought they won the day, and then they got back and everything was kind of terrible.
Yeah.
Again, I might be misremembering, but that's what I think.
Okay. On to your prediction.
Super quick prediction. I was thinking about the Witch of Envy, and I think the Witch of Envy is Amelia, from another dimension that is so envious of the possibility of Subaru that she's literally reaching for dimensions to make this shit work.
Possible.
So I was like, because every time we have mentioned and seen this character, it's basically carbon copy of Amelia. And I think the thing that kind of made me think about that was I was looking at some type of art for Amelia, and all the witches. I think it was on the fan art side, and for the video, I was looking at it and I was putting it on the video, and I noticed that the Witch of Envy, at least in this thing, and this seemed like to be a fan made thing, so it could just be complete bull, has the same type of crystal that Amelia has, but it's red. So I was like what if this is just Amelia just from this weird alternate perspective, dimension or perspective or whatever, that is so envious that maybe her Subaru died or whatever. She's not gonna allow anyone else to have it, because I think that would lean into why she keeps him alive or whatever.
Do you think the Witch of Envy has something to do with Subaru's powers?
I think his power to return from death. Yes.
Yeah, she loves him so much that she just keeps resurrecting him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I think so. I think there's I don't know. I think because the thing with envy in my mind is envy only works when you're the thing you desire is outside your reach, right? You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
So even if the Witch of Envy gets Subaru, it in my mind, by her very nature, is the point that Subaru is gonna finally die, right? Because she would find something else to be envious about. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I feel like it has to be she must be in such an extreme situation where it's Subaru's so far away, it's super hard for him to even have the possibility, being with her. So that's why she's gonna always envy. Like, have this like kind of envy for anyone that's with Subaru that's not, you know what I'm trying to say? That's not her,
Hmm.
right? So, because like, it's like, yeah, it's like, basically, I was like saying it's like a zero sum game for her. When you, if we're just taking like the sin literally, right? Like, as soon as she gets Subaru, like, would Subaru just kind of die because like she would just immediately just have envy for something else? If like the way we perceive the witches is kind of like this static thing, like they're statically associated with their sins. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but the witches all have their like twist to
True,
their character that is so it's so like their character that you wouldn't even think about it.
true. Yeah, like the Richard Raff being like very into like this protection of love and being angry for people not taking care of themselves, right? I think the pride one was kind of like having pride in this like ability to show the truth, or like pride in this truth or whatever. But he still is like one that was super interesting, where it's like, I made a whole bunch of terrible things, but these terrible things, if people worked together, would have fed like so many people. And like the whole general like context is like, hey, you like what's something that's alive that doesn't want to like not stay alive, right? What would you say the the twisted greed is? I'd be like, for me it'd be like, even though this is only for this person's end, doesn't mean it can't be kind. Because like, again, I still think the deal that she was giving to Subaru was like some type of kindness. It was definitely just for her to just have a new body, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It was generally one of the kinder. It was the thing that Subaru definitely needed, and she did just give him advice that was genuinely helpful for him in that moment, even though it was kind of just a setup for a pitch.
Yeah.
Got you. So that's my wild off the walls theory. I don't think it's right, but I think it's a interesting one to throw out. But if it is right, I'll be like, yeah, totally 100% do it.
So,
Definitely saw
well,
the interdimension time travel in this fantasy anime. That's definitely gonna happen.
what I do know is that when we do finally figure out what is going on in this world, that we will be somewhere there along for the ride, because this is once again our most consistent show.
Absolutely. But yeah, do you have anything else? Are you ready to move to the outro?
Yeah.
Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching this. If you're watching this, let us know what you thought about the episode. Let us know what you think is gonna happen next. No spoilers though. Don't spoil me. I don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah, all you people that read,
Oh,
we don't want to hear nothing about you reading.
yeah. You guys with your you guys looking all fancy with your picking out and reading your dumb books that enriches and makes you a well-rounded person. Why would you ever do that?
As always, yeah, let us know what you think. I am looking forward to hearing some of your thoughts about the show, especially because I feel like this community is so tight knit. Because for some reason, I don't understand nobody. People don't like this show, and I don't understand.
Hey man, I am always gonna lean into cringe art is super cringe.
But once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for beating the algorithm.
Yep,
And until next time, peace.
yep. Peace.